Pedro from A&P-Reacts. I'm here today with the iconic, do I dare say, the iconic Phil Demmel to talk about Vio-lence, the latest EP, Let the World Burn. I mean, you couldn't pick a better title for this one. Out
Yeah, man.
on Metal Blade Records. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm getting a real bad glare. I'm going to shut this real quick.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
No, that might be a little better. I can't do anything about the glasses, you know.
Yeah,
so.
that's fine. That's fine. We can still see you. We can still see you. So how's everything going with you?
We're going good, man. We're doing really well. Super busy. We're gearing up for this release, and everybody's stoked on getting it out there for people to hear. We were all super stoked on your review that came out yesterday, and I think Sean posted it up on the website and stuff like that. So the first thing that I sent it out to the group text. Sean had already seen it, and the first guy to come back was Christian, and he's all, man, this guy really likes the bass.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the bass. I love the bass sound on the record and how much you guys allowed that bass to really pop in the mix. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, Christian's a monster player. He knows a lot about tones, and he knows where the bass should sit in a song and when to play with the drums and when to play with the guitars. And a band like ours, there's not a lot of separation in what we do. It's all, like you even said, we're a wall of sound, man. And, this wall coming at you, it's hard to kind of distinct through things over the years. And working with Juan Ortiaga and as our engineer, and Tui Madsen mixing it up, really separated these frequencies so you can hear what everybody's doing, but keep that cohesive.
Yeah, still keep it together.
Yeah, really excited about it.
So how did it all kick-started again? I mean, it's been a very long hiatus. What was the spark plug that got everything going again?
Sean, as soon as I quit Machine Head, we did the final tour with that. I did the little Slayer thing, right? And then that was at the end of the year. So after the holidays, Sean sent me a text saying, hey, we should do some shows. And, I wasn't really sure what he was talking about. Last time I'd seen him, he wasn't doing well, health-wise. And to my surprise and was kind of shocked to see he got himself into shape, and he had a liver transplant, and that kind of came into, let me turn my mail off here. Sorry. There we go. And so Sean was the one that got us back together and into, letting it, we can't do a Vio-lence reunion without Sean. And once he let us know that he was up for it, then
I think you and him are the pillars. You have to have the two of you there, otherwise it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. It isn't the same. It wasn't the same, after Perry left. It wasn't the same after Rob left. It wasn't the same, it's something about, now with the lineup that we have, forging forward with the five that we have, and, creating music like this and writing our own, slice of Vio-lence history,
So why an EP? Why not a full-length record, considering the hiatus that you guys were on?
Man, we hadn't been together in a while. We're doing some shows, and people were digging it. I was, we put a lot of work into practicing, and for whatever reason, we couldn't get over that hump of just being really sloppy and not playing well together. And I wanted to keep that expectations pretty low on what we were going to do. So I just wanted to do like 3, maybe 4 songs and see if we could write together and how it would be, and not like take on this big chunk of, cut off this big old piece of 10 songs and doing a whole, full length record. I said, let's just do we'll do an appetizer, let's get the bloomin' onion, let's get the nachos, let's get the chicken wings, let's just see if we can make the appetizer work and sit through it and, enjoy writing music together. And it was enjoyable. It was a lot of work, but once we got to 4 songs, I had this other riff that I was playing in, and I didn't know if it was going to be I just come up with riffs in practice, and sometimes Sean will pair that, hey, what's that? Or hey, that's cool. And that was Upon Their Cross. And as you noted, it's different than the other four. I mean, the songs are all different from each other, but this one is different for a Vio-lence track in the sense it's kind of slow and grindy, and we've had slow grinders before, Mentally Afflicted, and but this was this was dark, and the riff is dark, and it's a grinder, and Sean's singing kind of low, and if there's anything close to Nothing to Gain on this record, then it's this song here. But it's light years ahead of what that record was.
Did you rediscover something about yourself working with the guys again, putting some music together for Vio-lence after so long?
I did. I think that writing, if I was going to write a thrash record, and I had plans to, but with it just made sense to do it with these guys, especially since we were gigging again. And Perry's phenomenal, awesome hands, and got great ideas drum wise. And with Sean is like one of my favorite writing partners as far as lyrics and vocals go, and it just made sense. And finding that, man, I remember going, God, I'm writing a thrash record. I'm writing rap, like pure thrash, not just parts that might fit into something, but I'm writing a thrash record, man. And it was really exciting and new, and I really wanted to keep that signature. I just didn't want to be a thrash record. I wanted it to be a Vio-lence record, and I wanted it to have those same movements and same ideas and beats and riffs that are reminiscent of that first record. I love the last Megadeth record, the Dystopia record, because he grabbed parts. You could hear the Hangar 18 part. You could hear all the other parts of the hits, and although they're similar, they're not quite. So I didn't really plagiarize myself or ourselves in that sense, but I wanted it to people going like, fuck, this is Vio-lence. It's not just a good thrash song, but this is a Vio-lence song. So
and you definitely can tell that immediately. The tracks have this feel of being transported in time from the early stages of the band to today, but at the same time they still have some new nuances to it. So it's a little bit of having a foot in the old world and a foot in the new world, if you will. And I thought you guys navigated that fine line perfectly throughout every single track.
Yeah, it was, when we got back together and we did the first two shows in Oakland, we put one up for sale, it sold out in, maybe a day or two. And then we put another one up for sale, sold out in hours. So there was this huge expectation, and we did it at a punk rock club, the Metro. And we just did 4 par cans, and not a lot of lights, and people up front keeping people off, and no barricade, and half stacks or whatever. We didn't have a lot of gear on stage, and people flying up on stage, and mics going everywhere. It was Ruthie's in 1986. Like we would go see Exodus or Slayer or Megadeth at these shows. We saw Metallica played at Ruthie's one time, and it was just mayhem, everybody going nuts. And that's the feeling that we rekindled, and we go, oh my God, we're thrust back into this era. And when we started writing music and when we started going to shows and the scene that we were a part of, and it got really nostalgic, and I think that was incorporated into that old feeling. And with that, I wrote that album when I was in high school, basically. And then, so I wanted that feeling of all of that, going to Ruthie's and drinking beers in the parking lot across the street to garner all 35 years of my, songwriting and guitar playing and structure since then. And 55 now, so there's a lot of different experiences that I've had too, and put all that together, and working with Perry, which was almost all of the record was me and Perry in a room, me throwing riffs at him and getting him to understand, getting us to be able to communicate together, and driving my musical language down his throat. He hadn't played thrash in a while. He hadn't played in a band in a while. He hadn't, recorded in a while. So getting him up to speed, the dude, he worked his ass off to where, it was frustrating, to where we were both, the guy's super ADHD and his attention is fucking squirrel, and he'll admit that, but and there were times where it's just like, fuck, dude, it's been 10 times now, it's 7 and 8, and just getting him to understand, I think. And we got over that hump, and we wrote, Sean was there for parts of it, and but for the most part, it's me and Perry hacking away, man, hours and hours.
When you look at the work that you guys did on this EP, does a lot of it also becomes defined by the experiences that you've had outside of Vio-lence, like your time with Machine Head, working with Lamb of God, Slayer? Do you take learning lessons from all of that and then bring it back into this new Vio-lence?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's part of the experiences I was talking about. Especially my time in Machine Head was the writing for that was a lot different from the writing for this. I think that the small bit that I did with Slayer was such a crazy, they're the reason I play heavy music. In high school they came out and I had a chance to go play some more commercial route, or I went this other route. And the guys that I still play in a cover band with today, my high school buddies I still jam with today, or actually have a show on Saturday together playing stupid covers, but whatever. Those guys back then were like, you're never going to do anything playing that heavy music. You'll never, it's never going to happen. Good luck. That music sucks type deal. And to make that choice at that early of an age, because of this band, because of Slayer, and then so many years after, the day after I quit Machine Head, my last day in Machine Head, the next day I got the call from Carrie to, possibly come out and do this. So it's like stepping out from a 16-year career in that band. Most bands don't even last that long, but my stint in that band, was 16 fucking years. And they had, how many years before I joined? 10, 11 years before I joined. It's been almost 4. That's a testament to that constitution, that huge foundation that Machine Head is. Mm-hmm. And for me to go from my point in that and contributing not heavily, but I guess maybe heavily, but a lot of material to that band, to not wanting to sound like that in the next thing. So kind of like, forget what you've been doing for 16 years,
reset,
and now start, and the Slayer thing was a good kick because, playing those songs and getting back to it, one of the nights that we played, it was the 35-year anniversary of Show No Mercy coming out. So it was, and that was the record that got me into them, and here I am playing, is it Black Magic? What's the song on? No, we played, I think we played Show No Mercy off of that. So I'm playing the songs off of that fucking record, it's just like Tom is screaming, Carrie's over there ripping, and flames and backdrops and all this insanity. So I think that helped me switch the gear into, you're 18 again, you're finding that magic. You have this incredible new lease on your music career. I feel like a cat, man. I've had so many lives in the industry. I'm so fucking lucky and so fortunate that here I am at another one, just popping off. So I don't even know what the question was,
but I think you answered it. I think you answered it, which takes me to another segue, because now you guys are bringing in Bobby Gustafson from Overkill, and I'm a guy that discovered Overkill with Years of Decay, which he was on it. Yes. So you're bringing him into the fold now. What does he bring in that you feel like it adds value to not just to this release, but to the band as a whole?
Well, I think that, this can be the same with Christian too. They both bring in this level of professionalism, this level of experience, the performance, the way that they're great at what they do. But I think most importantly, it's who they are as people, and, awesome, genuine human beings, people that we want to be around. And, all of that steps up all of our games. We all need to, bringing in those guys really needs us to bring everything up to, where they're at, or us, I think it's more synergetic than anything. We're all the sum of our parts. You know, there's none better than all of us together. So, yeah, Bob's been awesome. He came out and tracked. He did a lot of rhythms on this. He did, you know, his solos out here. He had some great ideas. I think it was his idea to have the bass do the beginning of Flesh from Bone. So you'll dig him for that. I think that was Bobby's idea.
Oh, that's his idea.
I was playing it on guitar, and then Bob said, you know, I'm pretty sure he had said, hey, I should maybe have the bass do that, you know. And
yeah, it works great because it works as a perfect intro to the song, but it also works as the perfect intro to the whole record. It's almost like a built-in intro that the song has. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was the first thing I wrote for everything. We were on the 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise, and I came up with it. I don't know if I had it maybe before that, but Sean had a recorder, and I just had that, you know, just huge kind of. I even had like the commercial, you know, the ad lined up, you know, had the soundtrack all written out for it. But yeah, that was Bob's idea to do that. He didn't. Him being in Florida, it's hard for us to write together. So he didn't have a lot to do with, you know, any of the writing, or not really some of the structure, but he had have some ideas in the sense of, you know, like that one, for instance. And I know there was a couple else that he did too. So got a great ear for music, and, you know,
a great partner that you found.
Yeah.
One last question for you. I know you guys want to tour. I know you guys want to hit the road as much as possible. So are you working on a full-length record to follow up this EP so that you guys continue the momentum, so that you guys hit the road and you continue the momentum with Vio-lence and not put fans through another long hiatus?
I don't think so, man. I don't think a full length is, you know, I could be wrong, but that's my gut. It's just saying that I don't think another full length is what we're going to do. I think, you know, I've written another, almost a song that Sean's putting some lyrics to. And yeah, I think the EP is the way to go. I think that's a great, you know, great way to digest the material, you know, and I'd like to get in soon if possible, but, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. We want to tour, but I don't think this is the band that's going to be, you know, schlepping it around in a van, you know, for 2 months at a time. I don't think any of us want to do that. I think that we're into doing the fun stuff, doing the festivals, doing the weekend stuff, doing a West Coast trip, we're playing with Corner in the Midwest and going to the East Coast in May. So, you know, week-long stuff, and we'll see. You never know, man. You never know what could happen.
You're taking it easy now, so to speak.
I don't know. We just want to do stuff that's comfortable and that makes sense. You know, dudes all have jobs. You know, it's not easy to get away for a month at a time.
No.
So
I think you guys are also at a place where you can do things by the beat of your own drum. You don't have to be pushed into something. You can just, you've earned it, if you will. Like, you know, you guys can do what you feel like it's good for you.
Yep. We're at a spot where we'll just do what we, you know, that is comfortable and what we feel like doing and what makes sense.
Well, Phil, thank you very much, man. It was an absolute pleasure, an honor to sit here with you today.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, I'm telling you, been a huge fan of yours for the long time. And before I let you go, I just have to ask you one very quick question. I see you on Instagram a lot posting, well, not a lot, but very frequently posting Portuguese flags. I'm Portuguese. Do you have some Portuguese in you?
My mom was full-blooded, so I'm half.
All right.
Yeah.
So my love for you just grew 1,000%.
Yes. Yeah, there's she's full-blooded, I'm half. What was I going to say? Where are you from?
I'm from the mainland. I'm from a small town called Nazaré, which is just north of Lisbon, the capital, by the sea. We're known for having the biggest waves in the world. That's where all the surfers go to.
Oh, the biggest surf. Waves.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we're famous for. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be famous for, but
no, not at all. So my family, I think my great grandma came over from the Azores.
Azores, or from the islands. Okay.
Yeah. So there's, you know, for a small, and so they're so far away, you know, it's you
in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. Well, now my love for you, like
Obrigado.
I said, grew 1,000%. Obrigado, muito obrigado. Thank you very
That's
much
all.
for
I
your
don't know
time
any.
today.
I don't know any Portuguese.
I love you, man. All the best. Take care.
All right, Pedro. Be well. See you again.
Bye.